All right, still live on a First Friday Miracle edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. I am merely Bo. He is the great Z. How you living, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Did you know that in a season full of the improbable, the impossible happened 37 years ago today?
Did I know this?
Did you know that? Did you know?
Yes. I did know.
One of the great calls of all time, unless from your perspective, probably one of the worst calls of all time.
Oh, God. Why are you bringing this up?
It's 37 years ago today.
Nobody cares.
Everybody cares.
No. Well, in a couple days, it'll be McGuire's walk-off home winner, which was all we had in Game 3.
Which is all you had.
That's 37 years ago?
37 years ago today. Yeah. So
the next level's next.
Our work here is done. It's for those who aren't familiar with the terminology, it's the Kirk Gibson home run that wins the game of the World Series against Eck, who was the MVP and Cy Young Award winner that year for my beloved Dodgers, your beloved A's. But so it's 37. But what I was thinking about is, do we even now? Can people who grew up in the last 20 years, do you have calls like that? Because calls like that typically come, like the legendary calls, and that one is, and I know it's not for you, but that one is, and like Jack Buck for the Twins, and we'll see you tomorrow night
because I don't care to listen to it.
But you are familiar.
All
with
I
it.
can,
yes.
All I can see is this. That's
yeah.
all I can see. It makes me very
happy. And it really, I was thinking about it. So it was that, and it's golf. You know, it's like Vern at the Masters with Jack, yes, sir. And then him with Tiger on 16. Like, you remember those moments. But a lot of that stuff is stuff that you would see like in a VHS that you would get with your Sports Illustrated subscription.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know what is the modern equivalent of that. We have so many calls that we revere from Jim.
Oh, yeah.
During his time that are so iconic, but like, does a younger generation have moments like that that put them in a spot immediately, and you know exactly where you were when it was said? I don't think so.
No, I think it's different. And we have, obviously Jim Nance is as good as it gets. So my guess is that, there are tons of Nance calls, but I don't think it's that we're not that kind of a society anymore where we even remember things like that. I feel like it's
ADD. On to the next.
Yeah, our attention span is so quick.
Yeah, that you don't remember, or those things aren't savored the way that they were.
Right. Well, and the irony of it is that it's more readily available. It'll be clipped on YouTube, on X, on Instagram, on TikTok. It'll be everywhere. But people I don't think people digest. I watch my kids do it. In this like whole 6-7 thing that's completely out of control.
Yeah, it's awful.
Whatever. We're the old men right now yelling at clouds, but whatever. Fine.
It's fine.
It's good for them.
Where we are in life.
But I do notice that their brains still work that way. But that, I think, for us was important stuff to have in our brain. Like the plays and remembering, Montana's celebration,
of course,
and the touchdowns of Jerry Rice and the calls of those. Those were all important. Now it's like, okay, it stimulates me for 5 seconds, and now it's right out. Like when I watch it on TikTok, it's
Oh, it's crazy.
And it's just all in right out. And like, what did you just watch? I don't
know. What are you watching?
Oh, it's mindless. It's mindless.
Just brain rot.
It's dopamine. They're just it's a dopamine chase. They're
it's
always
just the
on
next
to the
thing,
next,
and then nothing marinates.
No, you don't even like really savor things anymore, which is why I know this is going to sound odd, but one of the reasons that like I have recently enjoyed like wine and collecting a little bit of wine is because that is something that like you can savor and it takes time to consume it. It's time to the whole, like if you're drinking something that's old and needs to be opened and decanted, like there's a whole process to it. So then it becomes special and you can actually be in the moment and get a feeling of what the France was like in that year and that region and all of those things. So like I don't know. There's not it's I'll even admit it's happened to me, like, and I'm sure for you, maybe or maybe not, but even watching a show that I'm into, just out of habit, I'll pick this up at some moment if there's like a break in the show where it's like not.
I do it and I can't
and then
stand
I'm like,
it.
so then I throw my phone away, which is why I really love Shogun, because I had to watch it to even understand what they were saying. So I enjoyed that. But I just think that's part of. It's unfortunately, it's just part of. It's part of society.
It is, yeah. It's funny you mentioned Shogun. I just was watching some of Narcos Mexico, and it was the same thing. Like, you can't pick up.
You got to watch it.
You really got to watch it and read.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd have a chance. But, like, yeah, that's it. And I think even maybe that's why I really love like the – and I suppose this ties into football in a certain way, but it's why I really still love if there is a Sunday show on HBO or if somebody does a once-a-week release.
Yeah,
I still love that, the ability to wait for it and then watch it and then consume it and think about it. It's just so easy to go on to the next and hit the next episode. I wonder what's going to happen next week. Well, I don't got to wait. I can just hit skip intro and it's up in 15 seconds.
I will say for Severance, if I had to wait 2 years after that season 1 finale, that's too long to wait. But no, 100%. And
the week to week, and I think it goes to we talked about this, I think, on Monday or maybe yesterday on the show, and we talked about the ratings for the Buccaneers and 49ers. So those aren't – the Buccaneers and 49ers – the 49ers are an iconic franchise. The Buccaneers are not an iconic franchise. But the 49ers, they didn't have Purdy. It was Mac Jones. Like, if this isn't like the stars, this isn't Montana Rice.
No
There's
Kittle,
nothing like that. No Kittle.
No Ayuk. No
star power, nothing. And the Bucs didn't have Mike Evans. And Baker's a really fun story, but he's not like some big national brand that everybody's like. He's getting there, but he's not like Mahomes or something like that drives it. But football still has that. I mean, that's why this show works. It's why sports talk radio works, because football still has that thing that you have to savor.
Yep.
You only have it once a week. Your team gets to play once, and you get to watch the one game, and then you can digest it however you want, and then you will get to talk about it all week, and then you get to talk about what's next, what's coming up, and it feeds the beast
100%.
In a way that nothing else is, and it allows for real contemplation where so many other sports don't. Every other sport, baseball playing every day, basketball, hockey playing every other day, how big's the loss? It's not.
Baseball.
It's not. You're playing by the time a game is over on Monday night, or let's say a game is over on a Tuesday night, you're playing on a Wednesday afternoon, and by the time you're talking about it, they're already ready to start the next game. Football is once a week, and it's never going to be more than that. And so you have all of this time to digest, and I think in a way there's some nostalgia for all of us in that, even if it's unintended.
I totally agree. By the way, we're watching a show that, and I find myself, these kind of shows I find almost more interesting now than shows.
Yeah.
Like, and I want to watch this Guinness one. That looks like it's in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's fun.
I told you the music takes me out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'll give it a go.
If you like Peaky Blinders, I mean, it has that feel to it. Yeah.
It's called Knife Edge, and it's real. It's like kind of pseudo documentary.
Yep.
And it's about they profile, like the first one's in New York. They profile 3 restaurants that are either one's trying to keep its Michelin star, and 2 that are trying to get a Michelin star.
Okay.
And it goes through kind of that, and then you hear from, they never show the people on campus, but they're the Michelin inspectors, and then it ends with the award show, and you find out if any of them got their star or kept their star or whatever. And it's not all happy endings, so it keeps you guessing at least, which is cool.
What's this on?
I want to say Apple.
Okay.
So we watched the first one, and now they're going to go into Chicago, I think is the next city. But it's really cool, but it was funny watching it. You know, first of all, they have a British guy who's a food blogger who's kind of the host of it, but he says Michelin.
Oh, I like
a
Michelin
star.
Michelin
like
star.
How it, and it's such a big deal in the restaurant world, for sure. So we're going and we're watching. They get to the point where it's like the award show, and like we're talking black tie gala. This is a big deal. Like they basically say one Michelin star awarded to, and they go alphabetical, and like your restaurant either comes up when it's your time in the alphabet or it doesn't, and that means no Michelin star for you, or you get a Michelin star, which changes probably the trajectory of your
everything
of your your chef, changes the trajectory of your restaurant, all of it. So they go, and then like as people are coming up next to this woman in this beautiful gown who's kind of making the announcements, is the Michelin Man.
Like the white guy with the tires?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, like the mascot.
He's in the mix?
The Michelin mascot is there. And
How about it?
I'm watching this with Miss K, and she's like, "What's the Michelin man doing there?" I'm like, "It's Michelin, like the
Same.
Michelin. It's the same." She's like, "What do you mean? The tire company is the best food restaurant critic?" And I was like, "Yeah," because when they were trying to sell tires, it started in obviously the company started in France, but the Michelin brothers, they put together the guide, the Michelin guide, and originally it was about like how to change a tire or hotels or whatever, just things to do along the road.
Right.
And then it turned into this, and now it is the foremost restaurant. It wasn't until like the early 1900s they even started doing restaurants. And then they came up with the 0-star, 1-star, 2-star, 3-star.
Yeah.
And the threshold just to get 1-star, that means you're like really have made it. I mean, the amount of restaurants that get a star is very small. And there are 2 chefs, I think, that have a total of 32 Michelin stars. That's like the most ever. They're considered the greatest chefs ever. But it was like she could not believe. She's like this, and
it is a hard thing it wouldn't make sense. You would just assume it's a different.
Totally.
You would make no sense for a tire company to also review restaurants.
Well, like my favorite wine that I've ever had is the Maybach Materium, which is a Napa cab from a winery, Maybach.
Yep.
Well, just so it turns out,
same
Maybachs,
same folks.
Those cars decided, hey, we'd like to make
This would be fun.
really awesome wine too, and they make that. But it's weird. But I will say, if you're like in a gala where your career life is in the balance in some ways, and like you're looking at this Michelin man mascot out there, it is kind of absurd.
What is this guy doing?
Even if it comes from that, like it's still absurd.
The fortunes of my life in the next decade will be decided.
Yeah, then you have to go up there and they shake hands with the mascot.
Thanks. It's great. Give me a set of white walls.
Yeah, like one of the restaurants was trying to become the first Michelin-starred restaurant that was all it did was fried chicken. It's called Cocado in New York City.
And that was the goal.
That was
to
their
do
goal,
that.
was to get a Michelin
That's
star.
good luck.
They would be the first one ever. There are like pizza places that have Michelin stars.
Is there really?
Yeah, there's
I didn't know. There's none in Ohio, is there?
Michelin-starred restaurants in Ohio.
I think Chicago. I think I've looked up before. I think Chicago's the closest.
But they only do it in certain areas too. Like currently no Michelin-star restaurants in Cleveland because the Michelin Guide does not include Ohio in its restaurant reviews.
It's sad.
So, yeah. So, like, for example, there was a restaurant I used to back in the day in Vegas.
Yeah.
Bobby Flay's Mesa Grill right there in Caesars was awesome. It got a Michelin star, and then the next year they stopped doing Vegas. So then he lost it, but even though he didn't lose it, just they don't cover it. So it's only for places that they do cover.
We ate at a Michelin star joint in your hometown when the weekend we got engaged.
There are plenty
there are, yeah. And then we ate at 2 in Napa, one in Sonoma, one in Napa that were both. Yeah, that's awesome. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Good. I think you'll a good show.
The blonde would like that as well, which is always a win for everybody. It is Miami week. Week 7 of the NFL season is here. Practice should be wrapping up here momentarily. We'll have some updates for you when we get them. Myles Garrett is not on the field for the portion of practice that was open to the media. No reason was given for that. Jack Conklin, the Chief, and Gage all not practicing today. The Chief is truly day-to-day per coach.
But then again, aren't we all?
That's Eisen, right?
It's Eisen. Oh, Dan Patrick, too, I think. Eisen, Dan, NDP.
One of
right?
them, yeah. One of them, yeah. Or maybe both. Lethal combination of them both.
Yeah.
So there you go. When are we done? 3:15 practice, Gibbe? Yeah, about 3. So pretty quick.
Should be wrapping up now if we haven't already. So we'll keep you posted. But so far, no explanation on the Myles.
Yeah, why he was not present.
All right, this is Island Bum weighing in with this. Fun fact,
Oh, man,
Kurt
Island
Gibson resides in Michigan, goes to the Erie Islands a bit. On Put-in Bay, he showed tons of stories, including the home run he hit. Very cool guy, down to earth. Unfortunately, some declining mental health issues. That stinks.
I hate to hear that. He did not use the word turd at all in that?
He did. That's actually the hashtag. Is the word turd is in the hashtag. Yeah, I just omitted that.
He loves that word.
Big word, big lie.
Oh, yeah.
Did I tell you
Typically, it's directed at me or
I rarely hear
something
that
goes
name
on with the team.
I rarely hear that name.
Sitowski or something like that.
I think it is. Yeah.
Island Bum. I enjoy it.
My dad, one of my dad's buddies,
Okay.
when I was a little kid, his nickname was Turd. Was his nickname. They just called him Turd. So this is maybe 5-6 years ago. I hadn't thought about Turd in a long time.
Well, why would you?
Why would I? And so I was talking to my dad on the phone, which is rare, and I go, Dad, you remember that buddy you had who you guys called Turd? And he goes, yeah, Ron Pooroy. And I said, I go, okay. And I swear to God, he goes, yeah, I don't know why we called him Turd. His last name was Pooroy.
Well, I get it now.
How did he not? What are you doing, man?
First of all,
our synapses not firing?
Yeah, well, apparently not, because
Pops,
that one.
like, what are we doing? Like, it's
that's
in the
spelled
name
out for you. Yeah, that's
it's
spelled out
in
for
the
you.
name.
Yeah.
I don't know why we called him Turd.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe it's in the name.
maybe it's right there for you.
Do you think in those
Who's
days
the most famous turd?
Ferguson?
Duh.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's funny. So good. I think that also in that generation is the last generation where if you got a nickname, you just wrote it. There was no way of getting out of it.
No.
Like you just got a nickname, that's it. Now nicknames, you don't hear about nicknames as like we used to.
Dean Pritchett.
Yeah.
Cheese.
That's right. That's right.
Last time I saw you, we locked you in a dumpster. I got out. Cool.
Cool.
Good. Glad you did.
Those are your hot topics today, presented by University Hospital, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. The new Rumpke Recycling and Resource Center, one-of-a-kind facility located right here in Ohio, process over 250,000 tons of material annually from over 50 Ohio counties. Learn more about how you can help keep your communities clean and green by visiting rumpke.com. Coach from the podium, and we'll meet the Dolphins coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, time to enter the podium presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. Here's your head coach, Kevin Stefanski.
Down there schematically, offensively, it's built on speed, tons of shifts and motions. A huge challenge to slow that offense down. Defensively, they can do a lot in the pressure game and the coverage game, really keep you on your toes in terms of changing the look. Really good players at all three levels of the defense. Special teams, speed, fast returners, but really well-coached group that I have a ton of respect for, and we have to play our best. So we're going to focus on our preparation, focus on how we work this week to go play our best on Sunday. But with that, I'll take any questions. Yeah, it's truly day to day. We'll have to see how he feels tomorrow and the next day.
So Cam Robinson's okay?
He's progressing. He'll practice some today, so he's progressing.
We talked about Jerry, early to start the season. Last week, Tommy said he's got a big give a blank factor. Do you see him pressing at all? Is this start of the season hasn't gone like he wants? I
don't. I think, like to Tommy's point, Jerry wants to provide for this football team in any way he can. Obviously, he's a leader. We put a lot on his plate. We ask him to do a lot, so he just needs to do what he's capable of doing. I've seen it many times from him.
Sunday was talking about some of the drops, maybe like occurring when guys are trailing and guys like not fully catching or watching the ball come in and they're trying to make a play. I guess when you watch it back, or are you seeing that? Is it something maybe more technical in terms of some of the drops?
I think you can learn from every play. It's not a coaching point just to say, hey, catch the ball. You got to tell your guys whatever it is technique-wise, whether there's all sorts of tricks of the trade in terms of looking it in and finishing the catch, the elements of the catch first before you turn, all those type of things. So I think Coach O'Shea does a great job with our guys on a day-to-day basis working those things.
Now that you're getting ready for Dylan's third start here, what did you see different from his first start to last week in Pittsburgh, and what is, I guess, where can he take it to the next level?
Yeah, I think like any young player, you're looking to make improvement from game to game in a ton of different areas. Obviously, first home game this time, so in front of our fans, so you're not on the silent count, those type of things. So operationally different than a road environment, but no different than any young player to just build on the things that you're doing well. And our job as coaches is identify the things that we can help them with, and but incremental improvements from our young players is what's most important. Yeah, I talked to Dave yesterday. He's a favorite of this building. He's a favorite of the coaches, of the staff. He's just a guy that from the moment he got here, he always did it the right way, super dependable. I think back to that game where he was injured, and I'm making it up, but he like 15 plays or something, and was so impactful in those 15 plays. Had a big catch off of play action, had a great scramble drill catch, was making plays, doing dirty work for us in the run game. So just, think very highly of the person. He'll do great in whatever is next for him. But also just a guy that was fun to coach because he was just the consummate professional.
When you look at that Miami running back, does he have special speed, and like what jumps out about him?
Speed. Yeah, he's a great runner. He's a great receiver. They can line him up everywhere. They do a great job of using all 53 1/3 of the field and making you defend all of it. So he gets your attention very quickly. Just that speed's legit.
What do you see when you watch Drew on film right now?
Good player. Again, it's a really nice marriage of the scheme and his skill set with how quickly he gets the ball out, how accurate he is when he gets the ball out. I think he sees it really, really clearly, can get the ball to all areas of the field, and get the ball in the hands of the playmakers.
Kevin, when you talk about the speed that the Dolphins have, is that an element that you would like to incorporate more in your own offense? Do you have it on the roster? And if so, can you use it more?
Without a doubt. I mean, speed is something that defenses respond to, obviously, Mary Kay, and the more ways you can get the ball in the hands of guys that can go. I think that's the important piece of playmakers, is getting the ball where they can, put the foot in the ground and get vertical and make yards. And if with speed, when you block things cleanly, it can really be an explosive play.
How have they adjusted to the loss of Tyreek?
Yeah, I think obviously they're adjusting a little bit just personnel-wise and some of those plays. He's a great player, as everybody knows, but they continue to be explosive in the ways they get all of their playmakers involved.
Kevin, in recent weeks, it seems like teams, especially the Steelers and the Vikings, have been kind of neutralizing the pass rush by getting the ball out quickly, and the Dolphins are no different with their average depth of target and how quickly Tua gets the ball out. As a defense, how do you guys counteract that to still be effective?
Yeah, I think if you look definitely over the last couple of years, Daniel, every team that plays us gets the ball out quickly. That's by design, obviously, with Miles being on our roster. So there's ways that we try to mitigate that with rush and coverage involved. And then when you can get offenses into those down and distances where they have to hold the ball, third and longer, call it 3rd and 7+, where they're longer developing plays, potentially that's when you get to your strengths. But understand that all teams come in versus us trying to get the ball out quickly.
Of a red zone threat as well, or maybe on 3rd down too, because both of those percentages are high.
Yeah, he's a great player for them. You can see the element that he's added to their offense from, like you mentioned, Joe, in the red zone with his size, and he can run. He's always been a player that can get down the field. A lot of these tight ends that are so big but can cover ground and can separate vertically as much as horizontally, and he's certainly one of those guys.
All right, there you go. Your head coach, Kevin Stefanski, from the podium, presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. Time to meet the Miami Dolphins. They're presented by Vivid Seats, official fan experience partner of your Cleveland Browns. They are 1-5 on the season. That is good for 3rd in the AFC East. Their head coach is Mike McDaniels. This is his 4th year. Still has a winning record despite the 1-5 start this year. He is 29-28. Overall, the Dolphins lead the all-time series with the Browns 13-9. Last time out, they beat us in 2024, late December, 20-3. The last time they played was last week at home against the LA Chargers in a loss, 29-27. That did the scores no favors. League rankings, their offense ranked 26th overall, 27th against the rush, 21st against the pass. Defensively, they are 30th in the league, 32nd against the rush, 20th against the pass. Turnover margin is -2. For more on the Miami Dolphins, we turn it over to Dr. Z.
All right, this is not a great football team, but they can score. They've scored more than 20 points in 5 straight games. And so if you're the Cleveland Browns, to beat them feels likely. You might need to score 20 points. Now, good news.
Good news.
Good news. They've given up more than 20 points all 6 games.
Every one, buddy.
Every single one of them. To the tune of 33, 33, 31, 21, 27, 29. That averages on a season 29 points a game. 29th in the NFL.
Something's got to
give. 4th
give.
most. This is the 32nd ranked run defense. Quinshawn. The next level's next. Number 30 overall defense, 30th on 3rd downs, 30th on 4th downs. They give up 23 first downs a game. We're averaging about 17, so bump that number up for us in this game. The one area where they're good, they force a lot of fumbles. They forced 9 fumbles in 6 games. They've recovered 5. And in the red zone, they're the number 4 red zone defense. So that's where they've been very good. Offensively, you got Tua. He led the NFL in passing yards in 2023, led the league in completion percentage last year. This year, 70% completions, 1,213 yards. Look at him. I don't know about that.
What did you notice?
I don't know about that. I don't know what that. I don't know about that. I don't know what we just saw.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know what
I
we
even
saw
got a
right
peek
there.
back.
I don't know. We got a
Sure
peek back.
what
I
it
don't know
was.
what that was.
No,
right there.
what that was.
I'm not sure. It looked
The
untoward.
lovely monk strap, though.
It looked untoward.
I'd a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Tua Tagovailoa, that's the quarterback. Now, he's thrown 11 passing touchdowns. Only 3 people on the roster have caught them. Jalen Waddle's got 3. Devin Achan's got 3. Darren Waller's got 4. Darren Waller
Dude.
hadn't played since 23, and in 3 games has 10 catches, 117 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That's a guy who's got 2,000-yard seasons, was a Pro Bowler, all of that. But that's who they get. So the weapons, Waddle leads the team, 29 catches, 390 yards, 3 touchdowns. Remember, Tyreek Hill's out for the year.
Yep.
Toast.
Horrific injury, yeah.
Horrific. So they got Devin Achan. Achan's run for 390 yards, so he has as many rushing yards as Waddle has receiving yards. He's averaging 5.1 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns on the ground, also 29 catches, 195 yards, and 3 touchdowns receiving. So 6 total touchdowns to lead the team. Last year had 1,500 total yards, 12 touchdowns. Waller, I mentioned. But that's pretty much it. Like, those are the guys who touch the ball. For example, last week, Waddle caught 6 passes. Achan caught 4 passes. Waller caught 2. But in terms of other receivers, you had Malik Washington had 4 for 22. Malik Washington's an interesting one. He was their 6th-round pick out of West Virginia, small guy but fast. Has 9 rushes for 61 yards this season. He's averaging 6.8 yards a rush. He's got 16 catches for 69 yards, 4.3 yards a catch. How many people average more yards per rush than per catch? I don't know if I've come across that.
Yeah.
They will play 2 tight ends a good amount. Julian Hill's their 2nd tight end. He's got 9 catches for 76 yards. Solid line up front. The left tackle, Patrick Paul, was their 2nd-round pick last year. Larry Borum's a journeyman who's playing at the right tackle spot. Was a 5th-round pick from Chicago. Cole Strange is the right guard, former 1st-round pick of the New England Patriots. Wasn't he with us?
Could be. Feels like you have that right.
Was he with us and they signed him off our practice squad? Because he's playing great ball, and quite frankly,
Which
that
one?
makes me really sad. Cole Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It had a jersey that I wanted.
Yeah, well, he's wearing the same
And then
number.
they got rid of it.
He's wearing the same number in Miami, so you could get a Miami one. Aaron Brewer's the center, and then Jonah Savainaya is the left guard, who was 2nd-round pick out of Arizona. Yeah, Cole Strange playing great. Hasn't allowed a single sack this year at right guard. He was with us. That's interesting.
Yeah.
He's played really, really well. Was a 1st-round pick out of Tennessee Chattanooga of the Patriots in 22. Bounced around, but man, that feels like with our depth issues, he might have been a valuable member of our community.
Yeah, he was signed to the practice squad on August 28th.
So right after cutdowns.
Right after cutdowns, he's released by the Patriots as part of their final cutdowns, and then signed by us 2 days later, and then they signed him on September 9th to the active roster.
After their first game.
Yep.
Interesting.
Very.
Defensively, it's a 4-man front. They've got a lot of investment on this line. Their edge rushers, Bradley Chubb, former 1st-rounder, Chop Robinson, a 1st-rounder, Jalen Phillips, a 1st-rounder. Kenneth Grant, a defensive tackle, was their 1st-rounder this year. Zach Sealer, who was the defensive tackle, has had 10 sacks in each of the last 2 years. He's struggled, no sacks so far this year. Their linebacker, Jordan Brooks, leads the NFL with 66 tackles and 41 of them solo. That is also the most solo tackles in the NFL. They have been not great on defense. Like I said, you can run on them. Their secondary has not been great. Remember, they got rid of Jalen Ramsey. They brought in Minkah Fitzpatrick. He's got an interception, which is their only interception of the whole season. They only have 1. So this not a great defense. I think we absolutely should be able to get after this football team. I mean, it seems to me like it makes the most sense that we would be able to get after them. They have struggled. There he is. Great swag. But yeah, they're not.
He gives you the shout going down the stairs, little taste.
Thank you. Yeah, they're not. This is not a great defense. Bottom line, not a great defense, and we've got to be able to take advantage of that. And hopefully we can.
Favorite Dolphin of all time?
It's probably Dan Marino.
Those Isotoner ads were great.
So great.
God, he could sling a glove, couldn't he?
Yeah, and then you had like the Mark Clayton, Mark Duper, Super Duper. Super Duper is an incredible nickname to have.
Yeah, it's they don't have, for all of the glamour that Miami is, they don't really have like this history of glamorous players. I mean,
No.
more recently with Waddle and obviously Tyreek's was incredible when he was at his apex for them and arguably the best weapon in the league when he first got there. But they don't have like a steady diet of those guys. Like Ricky Williams was a big deal down there for a little bit, resuscitated his career.
Yeah.
But they just haven't had those guys. I mean,
No, they haven't been glamorous on offense. I mean, their best players, if you think about from Marino till now, are Jason Taylor and Zach Thomas, both defensive players.
yeah,
Pat Surtain, right?
Pat Surtain, yeah.
Sam Madison, was he a Dolphin as well?
Yeah, I think he was. Was Jalen Ramsey there too?
Ramsey?
After L.A., right?
Yeah,
And
they just traded. That's who they just traded for Minka.
The Minka trade. Yeah, that's right. No, yeah, they don't really have a glam. It's interesting because it's actually a pretty good fan base. There's a ton of
diehard.
Dolphin fans
My boy
everywhere.
J-Boy is a
yeah,
big, he's a
they're
huge
Dolphin
fan.
fans everywhere. But anytime somebody would show you, especially before they did the stadium renovation, when people would complain about people not going, I'm like, it's 90 degrees. If you go to South Beach, there's 250,000 people on Miami Beach.
Having the time
Like
of their
having the
lives.
time of their lives. They're not giving you their Sundays. They got options,
They
man.
got
They're on
real
boats.
options.
They're on boats.
They've got
They're doing it.
real
But
options.
I think it's a pretty dang good. I think it's a pretty dang good fan base. I really do.
It's a very good fan base.
I haven't been down there since they did like the canopy and stuff.
It still doesn't. When it's hot, it's hot. I mean, we were down there in November because I remember it was right after El Boud's bar mitzvah. So
Yeah.
I had to fly in that morning. I
Oh, that's
flew
right.
in. I did my sideline hits in the morning, did Browns Countdown on News 5, and I took my jacket off, and I had a sweat stain on my shirt that perfectly matched everywhere my jacket was. Like it was wherever my jacket had been was a completely different color than the rest of the shirt.
Different type of heat.
Different type of heat.
Different down
Yes.
there.
Yes.
We just talked about the upcoming Dolphins game. Want to attend in VIP style? Head to vividseats.com/Browns. Purchase your one-of-a-kind fan experience package today. It is the segment that's sweeping the nation. 4 downs with your Uncle Bo in college football. Nate, we're right on everything on this segment. Basically everything. Just this is all you need.
There could be allegations made that I have a crystal ball as it relates to college football, and I can't confirm nor deny those reports.
We'll get to it coming up next. Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner, your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. More fun to your fandom with the Ballybet Sportsbook app. Download today, get 50 back in bonus bets. You place your first wager of 10 or more. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. It's the segment that continues to sweep the nation. Your one-stop shop for football of the collegiate variety. It's time for 4 Downs with College Football Nate and your Uncle Bo. Hello, Gibby.
Hi. What's wrong?
Did you just get an email?
I don't know. Did I? What?
Just say no. That's what I'm saying.
Just say no.
Yeah.
I feel like in this
0%.
Does this have anything to do with me? Would it affect
no.
me?
No.
Oh, thank God.
No, me and you, no.
No.
And I'm saying for Gibbe, no either.
For Gibby, no.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. No.
But this guy ain't going to be there.
Nope. Yeah, nope.
I don't know. Who this?
That's a hard no. New phone,
number.
who dis?
New phone, who dis?
New phone, who dis?
Who's this?
That's a hard no for me, dog.
I think you have the wrong number.
Yeah, that's a hard no for me, dog. Let me go ahead and decline.
I don't even know what that could possibly, but nope, not it.
I clicked decline. Nope.
On that note,
Yep.
thank you for bringing it to my attention. I deleted it.
Good.
Time for 4 Downs.
Let's do it.
Kevin hit it.
First down.
All right, before I ask you who should be, I did want to ask this. What is the infatuation with giving college football coaches like 10-year contracts?
It's not. It's a product of one man, Billy Sexton, who's the or Jimmy Sexton rather, who's the agent.
Yeah.
He's the agent
the
college
super
football
agent
agent,
for all
super
these
agent. He
coaches.
basically works for. It feels to me like 80% of college football coaches are represented by him, and he's incredible. And every time that there is an opening, he will leverage multiple of his clients against their current employer for that opening. So James Franklin was given, Barber was her name, the previous athletic director, was given a massive contract. I can't remember which job was open at the time. It could have been when Lincoln Riley went to USC. It could have been when Marcus Freeman went to Notre Dame. But they leak out that they could have an interest in James Franklin, and then they go back and he gets a massive long-term deal. And so that's it. And in the old days, they would hide it under the guise of like, well, I have to be able to tell recruits I'm going to be here.
That's what I would think. Yeah.
I got to tell the kids I'm going to be here. I need a 10-year deal so that they know I'm here for their whole career and all of that. But
See,
with
this-
NIL and free portal, it's all nonsense.
This
now.
is ridiculous, and
It is.
ADs and colleges need to step in. Enough of these 10-year. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you want to go? I'm going to call your bluff. I don't think someone else is that interested in you to give you a 10-year deal.
Let me break it down for you. You know who needs to step in is the NIL collectives and say, we're not every few years shelling out an extra $50 million to correct a problem.
They're the only ones who can. But the problem is, and this Franklin thing is a good example of this, you reach a tipping point as a big money booster where you've had enough. And then at that point, it's like, I'm sick of bailing out my university, but damn it, I'm going to bail them out because I can't stand for this anymore.
Yep.
And that's how it happens. That's how Franklin was fired.
Was
because
it
they came up
Adidas
with it.
that came to the table?
No, I don't know that
supposedly?
there was a thread about that, but I talked to my buddy Rich Scarcella who's covered him for 30 years at the Reading Eagle, and he was saying that 3 or 4 boosters just kind of came in and said, yeah, we're good, we're out. There is some smoke to the Adidas stuff, but it doesn't have to do with the Franklin component. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But that's why it is. That's why they're doing talking about doing private equity, all these things, because none of them want to give back the money. Like athletic directors shouldn't make $3.5 million a year either. But they're not giving their money back. Coaches aren't giving their money back. The cat's out of the bag on that.
So that's what I was doing some research, and I'm like, well, the highest paid college coach is Kirby Smart at $13 million a year.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, there's 5 or 6 NFL coaches making more than that.
Is there now?
Not that many more, but there are. I want to say, I think it's 5.
Like Andy and
Andy.
Braves,
I think
maybe?
Harbaugh. It might be both Harbaughs actually.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if Rabel wasn't making that.
I'll look here in a minute.
Yeah.
I had it posted.
Yeah.
But
that's why.
Okay,
but it's
and that's why
he's
I'm
not
like, well,
getting 10 years,
but then the problem is
$150 million.
It's a 10-year deal. It's like a 3-year or 4-year deal in the pros.
Yeah.
Maybe a 5 if you're lucky.
Oh, that's like Jimbo Fisher. They had to write that check for Jimbo Fisher. It was like
Texas A&M.
80
Yeah.
to get out of that
Jimbo.
deal.
Gross.
it's
All
terrible.
right. Well, that being said, who should the next coach of the Penn State Nittany Lions be? College football, Nate.
Oh, you're going to have to dig deep into the college football Nate recesses here.
I'm going to be honest with you. It really should be. It's the guy's name at India, Signetti.
Signetti.
It should be Signetti. He should leave there, go to Penn State, bigger history, probably bigger pocketbooks. I know that Indiana, obviously, he's built it. He was a winner. He said it.
Yep.
But
Google
he would be somebody that I think would be on that list.
So he's a Pittsburgh guy. So
Helps.
he's got natural ties. The only thing with him is he's 64. So it's a tighter window, maybe.
Yeah, but what you're
there.
looking for
You're
there,
looking for a 3 to 5.
yes,
is what
you're looking for 3 to 5, and you're looking for that hopefully there's somebody, a star on his staff that would be a natural replacement.
Yeah. So the one that's getting a lot of noise is Matt Rule, who's currently at Nebraska. He's a former Penn State player, so he's getting a lot. And he did not. He was pressed about it and did not deny it in any way, and talked glowingly about his alma mater. And Nebraska, a really hard job. I don't think that I would not do that. This is what I've said about Penn State.
Isn't the bloom off his rose?
Well put. Yeah, I think so. They're 5-1 this year, so it could be getting back on. But this is what I think. Don't worry about ties to Pennsylvania. Don't worry about does he know the recruiting base. The real critical thing is be charismatic, because what that job is now, you're a salesman.
Yeah.
You're selling your boosters, you're selling recruits, you're selling the portal. You are always be closing. That's that business now.
ABC.
And if it's someone who's charismatic with an offensive lean, all the better. Like, I don't want this guy to ever leave Ole Miss, but like I would love to see Lane Kiffin
in a
Big job like that, where he had unlimited resources and all that goes with it. Feels like Ole Miss is perfect for him, so I don't think he will. But at the same time, like, go get somebody young, bright, full of energy, full of charisma. Don't worry about ties to Penn State. Ryan Day has no ties to the state of Ohio, no ties to Ohio State. That's worked out. Steve Sarkisian had no ties to Texas. Dan Lanning had no ties to Oregon. Nick Saban had no ties to Alabama. Urban Meyer had no ties to Florida. Get somebody good who's young and got energy. G-Man.
Bring back Bill O'Brien.
Well, he doesn't fill any of those voids.
I got a name for you. What about Matt Patricia?
I actually thought about him. I just don't know if after just this short a time in Columbus, if he would have fully wrap his head around everything that goes at being a
Charisma.
college football head coach.
Not
right now.
quite sure that.
So he's
apparently
been
he's
very
apparently-
charismatic in
yeah,
Columbus. It's a
yes.
totally different dude.
Yes.
Now
Dude,
that he's
his
under
press
the yoke,
conference-
out of the yoke of
Yeah, and I think
Belichick
like
and everything.
yeah, my impression of it was maybe he thought that's how he had to be in Detroit because that's all he knew from Bill.
Yeah.
Dude, he is so fun.
Yeah.
He's jokey in the press conferences. He calls every reporter by name. Everybody's got his,
Really?
yeah, because now all of a sudden he's a mad scientist with the most talent. He's having the time of his life. I like that name. I just don't know if it was a year later. I probably want one more. They're in a critical spot. They really got to hit that coach. They got to hit.
Would
on that.
Signetti leave?
I
Is
don't
that even
know.
being
I think
talked about or no?
No, his name is being talked about. I think the thing with Signetti is just age, and then right now, like
Look
he
him
has,
up. He wins. He's a winner.
He does. Google him. Right now, there's actually a really cool story. I can't remember where I read it over the weekend about Indiana and how like Cuban, who's an alumnus, like they are really mobilized football school.
Yeah.
So
that's
like
a
they got
football school.
they got their money rolling, and they're like, hey, we can win here.
He's embraced free agency in
Absolutely.
college football.
Yeah, they got Mendoza from Cal.
The
like
exact opposite of Dabo.
So they might
opposite.
not
The
be
exact
opposite. Yeah.
So he might think this is a better situation.
He might say, I'm 64. Like, these guys, if I stay here for another 3 or 4 years, they're going to build a statue of me.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
doing
yeah.
stuff that's never been done at Indiana, like versus trying to fix that. I already got this humming. At this point in my life, this might be a better job.
I think Patricia. I think Rule's not old, but he's not young.
No, he's
And he what? Baylor.
he had really good success.
And then he
He
went to
really good
NFL.
success at Temple. Pretty good at Baylor. Fell on his face in the NFL, and he does have Nebraska kind of heading in the right direction now. So I don't know. I don't.
What about Matt Campbell?
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, his name has been bandied about for honestly about a decade.
Yeah.
He's a local guy. He's a Perry guy.
And believe me, Mo Pedman won't shut up.
What I don't know, though, is I don't know if he's a good coach or not. He's got 3 losses this year at Iowa State. He had Brock Purdy and Breece Hall. They didn't win anything. It seems like he does it. That's a really hard place to play. So I just don't know, what would happen if why hasn't he gotten a job yet? That's what I always coming back to. He's won at a place that it's really hard to win, and he can't get a job. And he would have crawled bare-chested from Ames, Iowa to Ann Arbor under barbed wire for that job and didn't get it. And same thing at Ohio State. They didn't even interview him. Where's the disconnect? What am I missing? There's something there. I don't know.
Is Penn State, in terms of attractiveness of an opening in college football, it is number 1. But if you were going to just rank, if every job became available, it's a top 10 job, right?
There are true blue Cadillac jobs are Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame, Alabama, USC, Texas, Oklahoma, maybe LSU,
Georgia,
Penn State's in that group.
Yep.
They're in that. To me, they're that LSU, Florida. Probably not Georgia because you don't have the resources. They're right around there. They're somewhere between 8 and 12.
Would you put but would they be third in the Big Ten behind Oregon and Ohio State?
They're behind Michigan.
Yeah.
I would go Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, Penn State.
Yeah, so they're
fourth in the Big Ten. And USC, that's a really interesting one. Is USC a better job than Penn State?
Not given the surroundings.
And the thing with USC, Urban always said this, the problem with USC is there's not enough fat people. That's what he said. Where am I getting my linemen? And so that's always but I mean, also the other thing I keep coming back to is the right coach at USC, you can have a dynasty because there's an it factor to USC that Penn State does not have.
Yep.
You can recruit the number 1 player in the country to USC. It's harder to do that at Penn State.
So, I mean, maybe they're not even top 4.
Yeah, 4. So they're right in there.
All right, going back to that Kirby Smart and who makes more in the NFL. Andy Reid at $20 million, Sean Payton at $18, John Harbaugh $17, Tomlin $16, Jim Harbaugh $16, Sean McVay $15, Kyle Shanahan $14. That's 7 coaches.
That's a new development. That's a recent development because it used to be a lot of guys stayed in college because they paid more, but the NFL has flipped that in the last few years.
Yep.
Look at this. Super 70 Sports. I used to buy those every year.
I love those
every year.
Every year, yeah.
All right, second down. Mel Kiper Jr.'s top 25 big board out this week. He also lists at the end his top 10 at every position, including quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Who should be higher? Who should be lower? College football, Nate. His quarterbacks, I'll read them off while you go through them. 1, Dante Moore, Oregon. 2, Fernando Mendoza, Indiana. 3, Ty Simpson, Alabama. 4, Lenora Sellers, South Carolina. 5, Mateer from Oklahoma. 6, Carson Beck from Miami. 7, Nussmeier from LSU. 8 is Levitt from Arizona State. Maiyava, 9th from USC. Drew Aller from Penn State.
You know what I think is really funny about this before college football, Nate goes? If you go just back to the start of this college football season, which is 6 weeks old, the top of this list, had he done this in August, would have been, in some order, Arch Manning, Lenore Sellers probably would have been on there. Nussmeier would have been very, very high on that list. Cade Klubnik would have been on that list. He's nowhere even on this list. Drew Aller would have been at the top. Aller's 10. Sellers is still 4. Manning's nowhere to be found, and Klubnik's nowhere to be found.
Manning might not be there because he knows he's not coming out.
Well, but he doesn't know Dante Moore's coming out. He's not a senior.
True.
Lenore Sellers isn't a senior.
I'm going to throw it out there. I don't think he's got number 1 right as of right now.
Dante Moore started 1 year at UCLA, sat last year at Oregon, and then started this year for Oregon. And he sat last year behind Dillon. He's really good. He threw 2 pretty bad picks last weekend in the loss to Indiana. I would not say take him number 1 overall based on what I've seen to this point. It's funny, this all shifted. Everyone said, "Oh, this is your quarterback draft. There's going to be 6 first-rounders," and maybe there will, but there's not a consensus like there was even last year starting to build with Cam Ward. There just isn't.
I think I probably like Mendoza 1, Moore 2, Mateer 3, I don't know enough about Ty Simpson. College football, Nate doesn't know. Can you give me some Ty Simpson?
Ty Simpson, they have no run game right now at Alabama. He makes a lot of clutch plays. He was brutal in the game against Florida State, but he's played well the last 3
I
weeks.
was going to say, as a team, they've played much
They've played
better.
really well. They've escaped. I mean, they've definitely played with fire, a lot of close games. Mateer, you've seen him. He's kind of like a B-plus version of Bake, I would say.
Yeah.
I think Maeva could end up being decent, the kid at USC. He throws a really nice ball. He plays at Michigan this week, so that'll be – or no, they just beat Michigan. He plays – Notre Dame. So they get Michigan, Notre Dame back-to-back. So he played really well against Michigan. Can he stack that against Notre Dame this week? I'll be watching for that.
I still think Carson Beck is still solid.
Yeah, there's always the thing with him is always I always go back to this anytime I talk to somebody down from the South, and that is it didn't seem like Georgia cared that he left.
No.
And that was weird to me, like a guy who led him to heights and was a projected number 1 pick had he not gotten hurt and all those things. And then they're like, yeah, good riddance. We're going to go with Gunnar Stockton, who's totally middling.
So I've seen limited, but have seen some. What am I missing on Lenora Sellers?
He's just not accurate.
Well, yeah. And he's not also –
yeah.
It's not like he's running.
He's already been hurt. Like, he's just not – he's really raw. Just really raw.
But he's not – also, he's not a –
he's not dynamic. He's not like Cam,
runner.
like he's jumping over people and running
No.
through people. Like, he's not that. He's a really big kid. He's a good athlete, not a great athlete, and he's just not very accurate.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me.
Typically, it doesn't work, no. That's
Next.
what I'm saying. Like, what we thought this was going to be, right now it doesn't feel like it is.
Yep.
Next.
Third down.
All right, we got to go rapid fire here because we're up against it. Contender or pretender? Indiana.
Contender. Huge contender.
Alabama.
Contender.
Texas.
Pretender.
Next.
Easy.
Yeah.
Fourth down.
Halfway through the college football season, slow down time. Give me your way too early Heisman Trophy winner and give me the 2 teams playing each other for the national championship in January.
Heisman Trophy winner?
Yes.
I mean, it's hard for me to think that it could be anybody other than, at this point, it's either going to be Mendoza or Julian Sayin.
Okay.
I'm going to go Jeremiah Smith wins the Heisman. And I think the reason that's going to happen is these quarterbacks are all going to kind of even each other out. And I think Sayin is going to play the best. I think actually Sayin playing as well as he is going to help Jeremiah, because I think what's going to happen is Julian Sayin, you're going to
his numbers need to
when we get to but if you watch, like, it's
of course he's
what
gonna
he
be
does. So like
the number 1 pick.
Julian's stats are going to be better than every other quarterback's, and then you're going to, as a voter, you're going to go, Ohio State's going to be undefeated or 1 loss, and you're going to go, that's the best team in the country. He's a quarterback of the best team in the country. Yeah, but he's not even the best player on his own offense. And Jeremiah there's going to come a time, right? Anytime they want, they can throw a fade or a slant for a touchdown for him whenever they want. Whenever they want. They just aren't choosing to because they're playing in a different way right now. But I think he's going to have a couple of games. Like, I think in the Michigan game, he'll be completely unleashed. They'll unleash him in the Penn State game. And he'll do enough statistically week to week. Like, he gets a touchdown every week. So by the time you get to after the Big Ten championship game, he's going to end up with 1,300 yards and 18 touchdowns. And, like, that's where it's going to end up. And then what was the other question?
Ohio State versus
The U.
Yeah, same. I think the synergy with the last time they two played for a national title, that time Miami hadn't lost. They were undefeated, defending national champions. This time it's the Buckeyes trying to do the same thing. This Miami team is very real. Beck's playing great. They got a freshman receiver who is a lightning bolt. They're both lines of scrimmage are pretty dominant. They really pushed around Notre Dame, which tells you how physical they are. And their schedule's really easy. They don't leave the state. They don't leave the state of Florida, and I want to say until next week or the week after, they go to SMU. It's like 8 straight games in the state of Florida for them.
Wow.
So, yeah, they're gonna make some hay here for a little bit.
That is 4 downs for this week.
All right, there you go. Score big with Howard Hanna, the official real estate partner of your Cleveland Browns, is Northeast Ohio's #1 real estate provider, dedicated to help you make the best move. Visit howardhanna.com/GoBrowns to explore your winning options today. Second hour, Cleveland Browns Daily, coming up next.
Welcome back to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet, an official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Nathan Zegura, very happy to be joined by a great friend of the program, the safeties coach for your Cleveland Browns, Efron Bonda.
Thank you for having me.
Coach, good to see you. I mean,
Great to see you.
You look spectacular, by the way.
know,
Let me just start with that.
Just trying to be like you.
No. I don't have access. This is too good.
It's
You're
Jim
ready for this
Schwartz
to know.
and then you in terms of game day fits that are, top one, top two. So.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Last week I came with a vintage sweater.
Yeah?
I had a vintage sweater with Brownie on it, and Siciliano was giving me grief about it. Universally praised other than him.
I think he's going to give you grief no matter what.
I think you're probably right. I think you've assessed that pretty accurately. All right, let's just talk big picture, your room. How do you feel your guys have done here through the first 6 games?
I'm proud of the resiliency. Like I said before, when I first got into this room and we talked about it early in camp, it's a new room. It was a new room. And I'm excited about, where they've got themselves to in terms of a group. I think people are understanding their roles, and understanding how they can affect the team positively in different areas. So I've liked how it's gelled to this point, and I really like the focus and the attack, the constant attack that needs to be had despite getting the results you want. So I'm excited about that part.
Yeah, well, the one game where we did get the result we wanted, Grant had a huge interception in that game, and it seems like he's really kind of blossomed a little bit into a leader on this team. Is that fair to say? And how have you kind of seen him perform?
It was a point of it was a big point for us to get Grant to really do that for this team. Kevin, talked about it. Jim talked about it. Him and I talked about it. And I'm proud of Grant really doing that in a multitude of ways, whether it's vocal on the field, which we all know on the field he's going to do, but taking the reins and really leading this group through good and bad times. He's done a great job. And obviously, in that situation, that play was huge. I was happy for him, his birthday, the whole thing, to make that play. And him and his desire to get the ball, which is a point of emphasis this year for the team, but also for him to make that play was fun to see.
All right, so we broke that one down on the film breakdown, and now you can expose me for not knowing anything. Because I do not, when I do those, I am not, I'm not privy to the calls, obviously.
Yeah, but
he went on his own a little bit there and baited them?
No, I mean, the biggest thing is and it starts way before, you probably can't even see it on the XO's copy, but the communication between him and the rest of the group was key. He identified a look, he identified a split, he identified a situation, and he communicated across the board.
I'm going to pass him on.
Basically, yeah. And we were working, on the backside with the quarterback who came become a little bit of a runner at that point. Ronnie did a good job just making sure it wasn't, and then kicking back to the middle of the field. But ultimately, and it's the biggest thing I've told Grant, good players are good players. Great players make the ones around them better. And the more you can affect those around you and make them better, the better you are and everyone can be. So that was a moment of greatness in the sense that he talked it out, saw it, identified it, and made a play for the team.
So in a situation like that, and again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but let's say that was man, but he said, I know what they're going to do here. I'm going to let him go. You pick me up on the backside, and I'm jumping this.
It was an in call, and we did a great job communicating all the way through. So, and again, in certain releases, certain situations where you have that or you don't, you can't. But again, it was just a really good job throughout the week of identifying something that we've talked about on tape, something he saw, and then applying it on the field in game.
And it was awesome. And
it
helped us get a much-needed win there. Let's talk about the guy who's back there with him the majority of the time, Ronnie Hickman, third on this team in tackles. He's had some big weeks, especially kind of the last 3 or the 2 going in the Pittsburgh game, and played well in that game as well. It feels like he's just kind of blossomed.
He's playing really well. I'm proud of him. We've talked about how big this year is for him, but also if he can play great, how that's going to help this group and this team. He's taken the reins. He's really a super intelligent player, but now he's able to just orchestrate back there and communicate, and he's doing a great job of just keeping everyone on the same page, making sure that we're all right and we're all doing the same things. But then, the other part that I'm just really pleased with him is his tackling. He's really done a great job of.
10 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it was his career high.
Yep.
But it's the tackles that are key. It's one thing if you're assisting and all that, which is good, and he's getting to the ball because he's chasing the ball. But those high leverage situations, those open field tackles, they're tough, and you're not going to make them all. And he's missed 1 or maybe 2 throughout the year. But if you can get those open field tackles on the ground in attack defense where you're going to be susceptible to some situations because of how we play. If your free safety can eliminate the rack in those situations and give us another opportunity to keep playing defense, we do that consistently, we'll get off the field. And that's what I'm really proud of him. And again, it's the hardest play for a safety in football to make. We rep it a lot. You see us in practice. But he's done a great job of sinking his teeth, into a body part, violent wrapping, and getting on the ground. Sometimes you're going to get run over, but the ball's stopped, and we get a chance to play again.
What does it say to you that he's doing a lot of this from kind of a single high position? We play as much of that as anybody in the league, but to still be reading his keys, reading it correctly, and then making sure he is a part of the plays? Because, sometimes you see single high safeties who just they're just going to chill back there and let, you guys take care of this.
Yeah, I hate that. And it's probably been – if people watch safeties that I've coached over the years, they know that's not the way we work or the way I'll coach it, because you can't. I mean, you can't play 10 on 11. Just because you're a post safety doesn't mean you give you 20, 30 yards. Now, there's times and ops for that, but you need to be involved. And he's done a great job, again, of overlapping the third level and then being there when things, go wrong. And putting fires out. We talk about it. Safeties are firefighters. They got to put fires out. They got to run into the fire, and he's done that at a high level. So, again, I'm just really pleased where he's at. Hopefully these things continue, which I think they will. And he's worked really, really hard to get to this point.
I mean, we play as much three safety as anybody. Rayshawn, obviously, guys come in over 100 games in the league, a veteran. How's he been?
He's been awesome. And, again, for Ray – 100 games, right? Is that what you said? It's crazy.
Well over, yeah. It's like 120, I think.
That's wild. And has been a really successful safety in this league. And now he's transitioning into, that last part of his career, a lot like Roddy McLeod. And now he's learning a new role, right, and a new situation for himself. And how does he fit in? And I'm really, really happy and pleased with that. He's the OG now. And he's got to take the OG roles and the situations. And he's done a great job. Special teams, he's killed it on special teams. The thing that kind of sometimes goes unnoticed is some of those tackles he's made that if he doesn't get it on the ground, it can be even worse. He's done a lot of that. He's came in on third down situations and is finding his ways to impact the game in situational downs. And then whenever we need something on normal downs, he's ready in there. So I'm really glad. It's fun for me to have coached him in college and now getting the opportunity to coach him now. It's been really good to have him here.
That's cool. How has he kind of evolved since you coached him in college?
Oh, man. He's just grown as a father, as a man, as a professional. People don't understand, like, Rayshawn had a crazy background coming up. He's special. He's a one-percenter. And for him to come from everything he's been through to this point, to see the father he is to his children, the husband he is, to his wife, and the professional he's become – I mean, that's why I coach. Those are the things that you do it for. Those are the things that you enjoy. Seeing young men grow into really beautiful, strong men is what's fun about it.
Yes, and we talked about it, as your daughter would say, what also is fun about this game, winning is more funner. We've got to get there, right?
Yeah.
How do you guys look? The defenses, one of the top three, depending on what stat you're looking at, top 3, top 5 defenses in the National Football League. And we're not getting the results we want in a very much a team game. How do you keep the guys focused? How do you keep, this team all rowing in the same direction? And I know you have a small portion of that defense, but, safety, it bleeds into everything.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. And like I said, my daughter, she tells me it's not whether you win or lose, but winning is more funner. So,
she's right.
She is 100% right. And to answer that question, all you can do is understand that the gift is the present. That's the true gift, and you got to live in it. And yes, I get that the past can pull and chain you and try to pin you down, and the future can scare you. The only thing you can control is right now, and that's all you can focus on. And you got to let go of those chains that are pulling you back, and you can't think about the future, and you just have to be delusional. You have this mindset of delusional attack on what you're doing right now. And if you do that, if you just stay here in this moment and you focus on what's in front of you and this day, and you attack it with the mentality that if you do this, things will work out for you, you'll be fine. And that's the biggest thing for us in the room right now. What can we do right now to get better, to help this defense, that ultimately helps this team achieve the funner things in the game? And that's what we're solely focused on. And I will say this, the room, I'm very, very proud of that mentality and that attack, that constant just go, keep pushing mentality. It's the resiliency that Kevin talks about. It's the culture, and I'm very, very, as a coach, those are the things that you love to see.
For your guys, and really kind of for the defense in general, but it feels like kind of 3 weeks in a row now teams have had a similar game plan in that they're going to get the ball out quick, and they're going to take some one-on-ones on the outside when they get them. But for the most part, they're going to get out quick, and they're not going to give us really chances to make plays, and they're happy to punt it back to us.
Yeah.
How do you kind of stay patient with that? Because teams are basically saying, we're not going to let you guys win this game. We're just going to kind of take our chances where we can.
You know, you gotta stay disciplined. You have to just do your job, like Kevin and Jim say, and you gotta let the things come to you when they do. You gotta let the plays come to you when they do. Our D-line's done a great job. Jock and Amo, you know, those guys are getting after it, and
no doubt,
there's not a lot of time to throw the ball. And you know, if you do try to attack the middle of the field on us, you know, it's going to be very, very difficult. We're going to force the really tough throws, and we're going to lean on our corners, the tip of the spear, to make those plays, and they're going to make the majority of those plays. For us, we just have to do our job, and when they do, when they actually say, I'm going to go ahead and take this chance, we got to capitalize, and that's the key. But you can't chase. If you chase, bad things happen, and that's the hardest part, because the anxiety and the desire to do something is hard to fight when you just got to stay disciplined in your role. And that's the focus right now. And they'll turn. It will happen. We'll get our ops. Just like, you know, the media was asking me about, you know, takeaways and turnovers early in the year. And I said, hey, just do your job. They'll come. And sure enough, they started to come. And we've had a couple other ops where we didn't get the ball one time.
Sure.
They didn't award us the ball one time, a couple other times. We're punching. We're scratching. That ball's moving around. If you watch some of those things, it's coming. We just got to stay the course.
All right, Dolphins, a lot of pre-snap motion.
Yeah.
Now, they don't have Tyreek Hill, but they still have Jalen Waddle. They got Achane, who's got a lot of speed. Darren Waller, and one of the craziest stories, I think, in the league, right, is just out of the league and comes back and is catching touchdowns every single week. You know, they've got speed. They've got a lot of motion. They're going to try to cause confusion kind of right as the ball is snapped. How do you kind of deal with and try to slow them? It's very much a rhythmic offense when it's functioning.
Very well designed. I mean, just eye candy everywhere. Motion shifts, trades, lead the NFL. Speed, like you said, they're going to attack your edges. You know, Tua, who can put the ball anywhere, you know, balls out fast. It's just a very, very well designed offense. And they have all the pieces around it. Obviously, don't have Tyreek, and you know, it's unfortunately what happened. But for us, it's about staying true to our principles, right? Protect our edges in multitude of ways, right? Lean on the things that we do well, right? Don't get too crazy and complicated. They want to get all wild. We're cool. We know, you know, Jim's got a great plan for us, and it's our job to go in there and be us, right? Ultimately, be us. Do what we do well. Don't get blinded by all the different stuff, right? Keep your eyes focused on what you need to be focused on, and communicate and talk and deal it out, right? That's the key in these situations. That's how this league's turned into. This league's turned into that.
Yes,
everyone does it at a variance. No one does it at the variance that they do. The Niners, other places. But we understand how to play against these defenses. We're built that way. Jim's designed it that way, and we're ready for it, and we're excited.
We're excited as well. It's going to get you guys back home in front of the home crowd and hopefully have a little bit more magic and get one of those big wins. Coach, thanks so much for the time and all the insights.
Appreciate you guys having me. Always good to be here.
He's the best, man. He's the best. And, you know, the thing, we had Zastel in here yesterday, and he and I were talking about it, and I asked him, I'm like, you know, how do you make sure that everybody keeps rowing in the same direction? And he gave kind of a simple answer. He said, look, it's professional football. You're pros. Go do your job. And that's something that is hard to shut off, that part of your brain when the struggle bus is on. Do your job, handle your business, 4 to 6, A to Z, and on to the next.
He's been obviously a defensive coordinator in college. He speaks like a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's another one of our really, really, really good coaches who gets it here, you know, between Tarver and him and B. Lynch, Jacques Césaire on the defensive side. You have really great coaches, and I think that's what's so – I think when people get so focused on, man, you know, calling for significant change, there's a lot of trickle down in that. Now, some people survive and stay through, but That's often rare, and we've got a lot of good coaches here, certainly on the defensive side of the ball. That's not anything about the offensive side. About we have good coaches there. Some of them are new. Some of them have been here for a while. I think we have a new tight end coach, new offensive line coach. Obviously, a receiver coach has been here. Quarterback coach has been here at least for a year, but first new year in that role, and then Deuce, who's awesome. There's just a lot that goes. There's a lot. It's a big deal. But I think the world of Coach Bonda. I think our safeties have been excellent.
Yeah.
And we got to find ways to win because it affects all of these guys so much.
Yeah, it does. So get one, and it makes it's an elixir at least for a week. The Browns head to Vegas this November. You can be part of the action with the Browns Takeovers powered by TrueFan Travel. Head to clevelandbrowns.com/takeovers to book today, and you'll receive a 3-night hotel stay, opportunity to hang with Browns alumni Christian Kirksey and Kevin Mack, a ticket to the game, and all-inclusive pregame tailgate. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/takeovers to learn more. Let's take over Vegas in 2025. Andrew Siciliano coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. OBM, the preferred provider of copiers and document services for your Cleveland Browns. They'll tackle any size office at 216-485-2000 or visit ohiobusinessmachines.com. Time to head on that Twisted Tea hotline presented by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea, official sponsor of your Cleveland Browns. Keep it twisted, Cleveland. He is the play-by-play voice of your Cleveland Browns. Andrew Siciliano joining us. Usually I accuse you of being in the middle of something right off the gate. So I thought in order to change it up this week, I would just say, what are you doing right now?
I am sitting on the floor in my office.
Okay.
Was just watching the Dolphins being totally unable to stop the run last week against the Chargers. And honestly, I was also tapping my foot there to that music that you were playing on the bump in, because that is, when I hear that music, I think of Chris Berman.
Of course you do.
Doing Sunday Night Highlights with Tom Jackson, and I honestly think of Eric Metcalf for whatever reason as a rookie, specifically his game in Tampa, where because I had those highlights from that year on a VHS tape as a kid, and I would wear that VHS tape out. And I believe Berman said that day, "You've heard of stopping on a peso. Eric Metcalf can stop on a sombrero." And I don't know what that means.
Don't either.
But that's what I think of when I hear that music. That is what I'm doing. Gentlemen, how are you?
Well, we're good.
We're good.
Man. Well, that's the thing. Like, as you know, you and I similar in this regard, in that the teams we rooted for were not in our market. Now, you at least had a home market for which you could have seen NFL football. I was we got a steady diet of the Broncos when I was a kid, even though it was well over 12 hours away. Dr. Z got to see all of the Niners games, every game that he ever wanted to see. So the Berman, that was your only way of seeing it.
Yeah,
that was it.
There's no other way.
No, there was.
And then
there
Monday
was one
night
other way.
half-lights.
Monday night half-lights.
Oh, there are halftime
highlights.
highlights.
Also see on Inside the NFL on HBO.
That's true.
So you get the NFL Films
Yeah.
treatment, but you might only get, if they did the game, you might only get a 2-play at like 53 past the hour. And then you'd be waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and it would be a super slow-mo of like Bernie backpedaling and throwing a moon ball to Webster Slaughter, and that would be the whole highlight.
That's it.
But
But when did that air?
Send me,
When did Inside the NFL air? Was that Tuesday night? I think it was
Tuesday
Tuesday night.
but
Yeah.
My aunt would send me the plain dealer in like a manila envelope for
Nice.
Monday morning, but it often wouldn't get there until Friday.
That's awesome.
That's the only way.
How it used to be. Yeah.
There's no other way to do it, man. Was that way to do it. And now you can watch anything you want whenever you want to watch it. So, the times, they are a-changing, my friend. Look, this has been a weird schedule. I mean, it just is what it is. You got a bus trip to Detroit, then a flight to London, and then a bus trip to Pittsburgh. You haven't been home in a long time. I know the home fans are, you can't wait to get back in front of them. This is a very winnable game Sunday, Andrew.
Yes.
Yeah, and it might be pouring rain too. You guys have noticed that, right?
Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Get you the AccuWeather update.
Yeah, it might be rain.
I think that's good for us. This is
I don't mind
a
it.
Quinchon game. Guy, he should be fresh. He should be fresh.
The forecast has changed since last night.
Right.
No, we're looking at rain. Much like last year. Remember
Oh,
week
my
17?
God. 94% chance.
It hasn't
hasn't changed in 3 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Saturday looks spectacular, though, as a quick aside. 78 and
gorgeous.
Last year, this game was rain. So I was going through the box score, and like a couple of things about last year. Number one,
Huntley.
I forgot that Riley Patterson kicked for the Browns in one game last year.
Yep.
He's the Dolphins kicker.
Yep.
I remember 2023, and he was the kicker the night, obviously beat the Jets, made the playoffs. He was the kicker in the playoff game against the Texans, all of that. I had forgotten that he had kicked it last year, number one. Number two, if you look at the skill position players that touch the ball in the game, and the quarterbacks were Snoop and DTR.
Yep.
In the game last year, the only three left are Jerry Jeudy, Jerome Ford, and Blake Whiteheart for the Browns.
Yep. And Jonnu Smith, if I recall, had a pretty solid day, and he's now a Steeler.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, this game is so vastly, vastly different. And like you said, Nathan, you said it before, Q.
Yeah,
I did. The Chargers were down to their fifth offensive tackle. Bobby Hart had never played in a game. He was at right tackle. And they mauled the Dolphins on the ground. They had 100 yards, total yards, in the first quarter alone. Dolphins can't stop the run. They can't fit the run. They can't tackle. you need to, and it's not just Quinshon. Dylan Sampson, get him the ball too. Like, get these guys the ball and run and run and run.
I'm with you. I think that it's a great idea. Can I get some of that? Can I get some of that music again? That would be like the countdown music.
Kev, you got a bed you could throw in?
Or prime time. I guess it would be prime time. The prime time music.
Prime time,
yeah. I'm gonna give it a quick one.
Yeah, 1 second.
From last week.
Strike up the Sunday night band.
Exactly.
There it is.
What are you gonna do?
Here we go.
I'm waiting. There you go.
The LA Superchargers head to Miami without a Marion Hampton, but Kamani Vidal Sassoon was styling and profiling as he ran for 124 yards and had a touchdown out of the backfield. Whop, whop! There you go. Whoop!
I mean, guys, 5th offensive tackle and 3rd running back.
Well done.
And they grinded
next level
that.
I just had to get Kamani Vidal Sassoon in there. That's the only reason. That's the only reason I asked.
Good.
It was fantastic. The voluminous hair back in the 80s as well.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Look, I mean,
they're going to score. We've got to score. They've scored 20 plus in 5 straight. They've given up at least 20 in every single game. This has to be the game that we break the curse of 18 points.
Yeah, and I think it also it's also really critical. You have to remember, like, we're all in the entertainment business here.
Yeah,
and these fans
you just saw it. You just saw it there.
You just saw it right there. There's the entertainment. That's Big B broadcaster to you.
That's right.
But no, you're in the entertainment business, and the fans haven't seen this team play in person in a long time. They're going to sit out there in the rain, put on a show, man.
Yes,
showtime.
You got to do it. But we also have to remember as well that Devon Achane is as dangerous an offensive player as the Browns have faced this year.
Yeah.
And I know they've faced Jahmyr Gibbs, but he is that talented. He may not have the numbers that Jahmyr Gibbs have. They're different guys, but he is that explosive. Go back to week 1. The way you talk about Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, you should be talking about Devon Achane. And that might sound blasphemous, but this guy is active, not only as a running back, but lining him up wide or however they use him. And Darren Waller is a tough cover. You know, he's off the couch and out of the studio, the music studio, that is. He is a tough cover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you can't laugh at that either.
Listen, Tua's thrown 11 touchdowns this year. 3 to Jalen Waddle, 3 to Achane, 4 in 3 games to Darren Waller. The only other person who's got a touchdown from him all year is Tyreek Hill. He had 1. He is out for the season after that gruesome injury. So they're one of those teams where it's like you kind of know where the ball's going. It's going to Waddle, it's going to Achane, or it's going to Darren Waller. That is it. I mean, Julian Hill, the tight end, has 9 catches for 76 yards on the season. Tanner Connor's got 6 for 57. Then you go over here, their fullback, Alec Ingold's got 4 for 36. Their other receivers, D. Eskridge has 2 for 17. Nick Westbrook-Akine has 4 for 26. And Malik Washington, he's got 16 catches for 69 yards. He actually averages more yards per carry than he does by 50% than he does yards per catch. I mean, it's the Achane Waddle Waller show. And we've got to just neutralize those guys.
You know what this team also does? Nathan, sorry to cut you off. They really play to the competition. Like, they have not beaten a team with a winning record since December of 23. They
really that
beat
long?
up on, I would say they beat up on bad teams, but they get in the mud with bad teams. They kind of hang with good teams. I mean, go back to the game in September. Oh, maybe they could, they're going to get beaten by the Bills by 3 touchdowns in primetime. They hung around. They're a weird team, but the thing you got to remember is they give up 400 yards a game.
Yep.
I mean, that's the headline here.
Yep. By the way, just while we have you on, we got the injury report from today has come out from practice. Joel Bitonio, not injury-related rest, limited. Malik Collins, not injury-related rest, limited. Jack Conklin, concussion, did not practice. Myles Garrett, elbow. So that's the designation there, limited. Mike Hall, knee limited. Shelby Harris, knee limited. Jerry Jeudy, knee limited. Gage Larvidan, concussion, did not practice. Cornelius Lucas, back full. David Njoku, knee, DNP. Cam Robinson, knee, limited. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, hip, limited. Blake Whiteheart, shoulder, limited. For the Dolphins, their center, Aaron Brewer, pec, limited. Brooks, the leading tackler in the National Football League, Jordan Brooks, neck, limited. Elijah Campbell, who I guess was with the Browns on the practice squad and was an undrafted free agent a few years ago, DNP quad. Terrell Dodson, concussion full. He missed last week. He is their second leading tackler despite missing last week, so it looks like he will be back. The great Storm Duck, full participant with his ankle injury.
Don't you want it to rain with Storm
Oh,
Duck?
you got it. It's like water off a duck's back.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Touchdown, Judy. I can hear you call it right now.
Jerry Jeudy had 12 receptions in the rain last year against the Dolphins.
He did.
Like, bring those days back.
Yeah, those are fun days. Trader, I think it's Dante Trader. I just did their team.
It is. He's the one who missed the tackle on Ladd McConkey last week in space.
He hates it. Well, now he's limited with a shoulder injury. Darren Waller, not injury-related rest. And then Cedric Wilson, who does not have a catch yet this year, but is probably one of the more accomplished receivers on their roster from a career standpoint. He is full with a knee.
So the weird thing about Cedric Wilson is they signed him off the practice squad out of New Orleans when Tyreek got hurt, and then they made him inactive.
Yep.
So they signed him to the active roster like, we'll take you. Hey, we'll give you a real job. But then he's been sitting there, and I think there's some question and some frustration as to why, with Tyreek out, you're going to take a guy off somebody else's roster but not put him on the field.
What do you guys make of the of Tua post game and his comments? He apologized for it today. I made a mistake. Post game, they get the loss for the audience. They lose last week, lose by 2 to the Chargers. Comes up post game and he starts talking about accountability, and he's talking about how guys aren't showing up for players only meetings and all of these other things. And when I initially heard it, the first thing I thought of, well, aren't you the leader? At this point in your career, aren't you the face of the Miami Dolphins at this point, based on who's left down there?
Yep.
And you're the most tenured. So that was a little bit interesting to me. And then he made the apology for it today. What did you guys kind of make of that story?
So I was watching the apology. I was actually doing the two things at once. I had you guys on one screen, CBD, and I had two on the other.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. That's how we multitask during the afternoon, guys. And Tua came out and owned it immediately, said I was wrong and I shouldn't have done it. This is my public apology, and I've talked to my teammates. But he also kind of slipped in one of those how the media perceives it things, which made you go, interesting. What stood out to me, guys, is that every single, and I think I mean this, every single former player in the media, without fail, has all been in lockstep. They've all been in lockstep agreeing that Tua was wrong and crossed a line. And I thought what Manti Te'o said on Monday on GMFB really stood out as well. He said, listen, we're friends. We're not best buddies, but we're more than acquaintances. Obviously, we have the Hawaiian connections, Polynesian connections. I really like the guy. And he goes, the Tua that I see on the podium this year isn't the Tua that I know. He's always been the really positive, like, let's build on this, let's put a positive spin on it, move forward kind of guy. And this guy kind of sounds like evil, maybe not evil Tua, but like bad cop Tua, like Bizarro Tua, where he's trying to clean up other people's messes, and it's out of character, and it's not him, which I think speaks to bigger issues down there.
Yeah, I think sometimes we live in this weird world where he obviously said something that was hinting at an issue. Yeah. Now, I don't know that he should even be apologizing for perhaps what he said, but just for the venue that he chose to say it in, right? Like, that's probably something that you would go say in the locker room or say to the teammates
I'll be
directly.
honest,
but I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I think people are making a way bigger deal about it than it was.
I didn't, and to me it felt like if that's something that leaders do, like who knows what's going on. And Andrew's right. Like, there's obviously much more under the scene there or below the surface there than what we know. But to me, like, you've seen guys do that before, call out teams and say, hey, we got to be better on the things in our own building. To me, he has every right to do that. He's one of the longest, most vested veterans of the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was strange.
And Bo, I had the same reaction you did at first.
Yeah.
Because I think all of us in the media, we appreciate the candor.
Yes.
Like, we can't have it both ways, and we see this all the time. It's like, oh, yeah, thanks for giving us the real scoop. And then 5 minutes later go, but you really shouldn't do that.
Yeah, right.
You should keep that in-house. We kind of go back and forth, we in the media here. But I haven't heard a single player in the media, players I respect and players that I think maybe do a lot more screaming than they do actual analysis. I haven't heard a single player say, yeah, man, good for you for being a leader.
Yeah.
Every single one of them has taken the other side.
Yeah, I wonder, sometimes that can be a shot at him too, though, right? It's kind of like a shot at Tua a little bit by them, almost like.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that. I got to tell you right now, there is on our monitor 2 of you.
No, there are 3. There are really 3 Sicilianos.
Oh God,
on the
there's 3
monitor.
Sicilianos.
Hold on.
One
on
of
the
them-
screen.
Oh my!
It's a lot of you.
You get one, and then you bet, and then you get more of that one in the bottom left.
And then you get this one down
Why
here.
did give a who is that?
That's Dr.
I'm looking
J.
at the side of, looking at the back of
That's
Gabe's
that's the
head.
G-man.
Yeah,
back
there's
there.
the
Yeah,
G-man.
G-man's back there.
G-man.
There he is.
Oh, what a power turn! That was so good.
Look forward.
That was so good.
Oh,
yes.
he's celebrating.
I got
Yes.
the delay on YouTube,
Yeah,
so
it's
I'm
a
going
win.
to see it in
You'll
probably
see it
like
shortly.
30
He kind of turned around a little bit like when Will Ferrell was Robert Goulet.
Yeah, Bob Goulet. Yeah.
And he was on the twisty turny thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, buddy, we'll see you this week.
Yeah.
Travel
I just
safe.
saw it. Hold on. I saw it on the delay. Well done,
Yes.
G-Man.
Isn't that great?
Well
Yeah,
done.
There you go.
The best.
Well,
We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Yes.
All right, guys.
Safe travels. See you soon.
thank you.
All right, there you go. Hey, Cleveland, don't miss the brand new Doghouse by NGM Insurance. Play Madden, snap photos with Chomps, Brownie the Elf. Get ready to kick off and come early to Dog Pound Drive. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM, proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. So much more to come. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Don't miss any of the action at Huntington Bank Field as the Browns take on the Miami Dolphins. Your crucial catch game is Sunday, October 19th at 1 o'clock. Lock in your seats today at clevelandbrowns.com/Dolphins. I should also tell you to be sure to catch the Browns preview show tonight, 7 to 8. The University Hospital's Cleveland Browns radio network, Isaiah McGuire, Andrew Siciliano join Ken and Gerard to preview the Browns and the Dolphins. I also want to remind you to come out to Panini's in Brunswick this Thursday, October 16th from 7 to 8 to hear our coaches show live. Meet a Browns player. We'll be signing autographs throughout the night. It's brought to you by Bud Light. You will be there. Gibbe will be there. Gerard will be there.
We will be there.
We will.
We will be there.
Love a good panini sandwich.
Yeah.
It's a tasty treat.
It's a delight. It's a real delight. You love that. You love that. You guys are really mobile this week.
Boy.
I mean,
how about for the last month?
I mean, I don't know about the last month. Where have you
Planes,
been?
trains, automobiles, buses. What else would you like?
Yeah.
We've
2 bus
covered the
trips
gamut.
And a trip to London. You got to stay at a country estate, though. It was a lovely estate in London. It was nice.
It was not in London.
Not
It was in
adjacent?
Watford. Not even really adjacent.
You know,
closer to Windsor Castle.
It'd be like,
I was
would you
told.
consider
Oh.
staying in Columbus, staying in Cleveland?
No, I would not. How about Mansfield? Would you call that Cleveland? No, probably not.
No.
You know, every time I think of, you said in Watford, that's in, what's the holiday movie where Uncle Billy sings the song with the one in England?
Love
Actually. When he's at Radio Watford.
He's in Watford?
Yeah, he's at Radio Watford, and he signs when he says it's pure crap and all that. He's on radio in Radio Watford.
That would have been helpful.
That'll make me happy.
Should pulls that out if we've been gone for 5 weeks.
I do what I can. I do every once in a while. I'm good for something. That's it for us, kids. Thanks for listening. Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland.